Welcome to The Flash, right here at Comicstorian. Recently, The Flash has been going through a journey to discover the true meaning of the Speed Force and the source of his powers. But while he was gone, the Rogues decided to get more power. You see, in the DC universe at this time, Lex Luthor is working with the dark being known as Perpetua to bring all of the villains' wishes to life. And Captain Cold accepted his offer. So while the Flash was off learning the meaning of the Speed Force, Captain Cold took charge of everything. And it's time for the Flash to come home. If you enjoy this video, consider giving it a subscription because you too will be able to tap into the Speed Force once you do. And if you give this video a like, there's a chance you may time travel while doing your speedster stuff. Now let's begin. Flash, issue 82 and 83. The world has stolen enough of one man's life. So before it could take any more, the man stole the world. And the question that everyone asks now is, where is the Flash? With the disappearance of the speedster, Central City was defenseless, left for another hero to take his place. One that would bring order to the city. It would bring the rise of the Rogues. But with the Rogues' reign came insurgents tagging parts of the city with the Flash logo. As more and more of these sightings come into the military compound, Ice Heights, the High Guard asks if there's anyone here that's responsible for the recent break-ins. Mirror Master says that he's too busy with his parties in Keystone to care. Weather Wizard says that he's too busy keeping his eyes on the skies. Heatwave says that he's got his own fires to worry about. High Guard then asks if it could actually be the Flash, and King Cold tells him no. The Flash is dead. Heatwave scoffs, pointing his gun at Cold, asking if he really called them in here for some petty crimes. What are you doing about Lex? The three slowly begin to fade, and Weather Wizard tells Cold to take care of his part of the city. They'll take care of theirs. Cold begins to walk into a room with a large machine and a mirror, and one of Cold's advisors mentions that there have been certain energy signatures appearing all over the city. There have been intense spikes in energy that match that of Mirror Master's technology. Cold tells him that it's impossible. The only location for energy like that is here in Ice Heights. The advisor continues telling him yes, Luthor's hard light technology allows them to harness the power of Mirror Master's mirror dimension indefinitely, the power of creation at their fingertips. The Rogues really have won. Cold then looks away, telling her, yeah, we won. But has any of the scans shown any trace of Golden Glider? Before the advisor can answer, the High Guard runs in yelling that there's been a disturbance in the city. They think it's a cover for another theft. And moments later, King Cold rides on top of a giant tank, and the advisor asks if it's wise for him to be out in the public like this. King Cold clenches his fist, telling her, this is my territory. No one steals from me. A short while later, Cold drives up to see a group of thugs arguing, fighting, claiming that this is their part of town. And King Cold asks them, who do you think this town belongs to? The thugs turn their attention on Cold and they open fire, so he jumps down, telling him, I used to live by a code. Never kill anyone unless it was do or die. But things have changed. As Cold charges up his gauntlet, a voice calls out for him to stop, and then there's a sudden blast of energy pushing him back. Commander Cold jumps in the way, telling Kid Flash and Avery to run. He'll handle this. So King Cold forms a giant ice fist, telling him, I was hoping I'd run into the fake. And why run? Haven't you heard? The Flash is dead. The Rogues won. Commander Cold asks, is that so? Then where are the Rogues? Why do I only see you? Captain Cold, born Leonard Snart, grew up in a troubled home, became a criminal, in and out of prison, founded the Rogues, small-time hood, turned king of Central City. Real rags to riches story there. But that's not the whole story, is it? I know what you did, Snart. Commander Cold throws a small snowflake bomb, blasting King Cold into the side of his tank. King Cold gets up laughing. Yes, I needed this. Nice trick using the snow to hide yourself, so I won't see you coming. You might be from the future, Commander, but you're still using my tech, my Absolute Zero tech. I didn't just build it, I mastered it. As Commander Cold jumps through the snow behind King Cold turns back, catching the punch, and releases a giant ice explosion. The doom sigil shines throughout the sky, and King Cold looks down at the now completely frozen Commander, telling him, there's only one Cold. Across the way, Kid, Flash, and Avery run across the ruins, quickly ducking behind one of the fallen buildings, stating that they gotta go back. They can't leave! And Iris walks out of the shadows, telling them that it's too late. Did they get it? Kid Flash holds up a piece of a mirror, telling them that the plan worked, but... And Iris pulls both Kid Flash and Avery, telling them that there's no time for buts. You gotta stay in the move. Back over at Ice Heights, King Cold walks down the hallway. I saw some of your old partners. They ripped me off. Can guess what they're up to, though. They're trying to find a way to turn the world back to the way it was. Because they hope that they're in some kind of a mirror world. That's the best part. This is all real. I'm the king of Central City. Shame the other rogues didn't see it my way. Gave them everything they wanted, and what do I get? Them second-guessing. Mutiny. Backtalk. Well, screw that! Heavy is the head that wears the crown. The door opens up and King Cold walks through, telling the prisoner that everyone thinks you're dead. But you were left alive to see this, to see that the rogues, in fact, did win. And there isn't a damn thing you can do about it. And if you do try, you'll end up like Commander Cold. Think about that as you watch him thaw, Flash. Cold tosses something into the cell and slams the door shut. And as Flash struggles against his chains, he sees the frozen head of Commander Cold rolling towards him. Flash tries once more to pull himself out of his shackles, but as he does, a voice shouts to him to give it up already. I'm trying to enjoy the end of the world here! Flash yells back, it might be fine for you to give up, but heroes never do. And Trickster asks him, give up? How dare you? I was living the life before the sky went dark. The Trickster beat the Flash and everyone knew it. Captain Cold didn't like that so much, so he took it away. There's no escaping Ice Heights. This is the end, Flash. And that's what a female voice says, not if I can help it. Flash looks up, asking if it's really her, and Golden Glider phases through the door with her finger pressed to her lips, telling him, shh. Glider's wrappings whip around the Flash's chains, destroying them, allowing him to stand back up. She tells him that they have to get out of here the quiet way, vibrate through the walls with her, and they can escape before anyone gets wise. Flash points to the device on his neck, telling her that he's powerless with the inhibitor collar on. And Glider stops to think, telling Flash that her brother is pretty smart sometimes. Cutting it off would probably activate a failsafe that would kill him if they tried. Oh well, guess we're doing it noisy then. She then releases an energy blast that destroys the cell and tells Flash to hurry up. He looks out at all of the other cells, telling her that they need to free them, they just can't leave. But before they could get far, a robotic voice tells them to halt. Return to your cell or be iced. 3 giant robots burst out of the ground, and Glider says that her brother used to hate puns. One of the robots begins to swing at the Flash, and he yells that there isn't much he can do without his powers. Glider flies by, moving him, telling him that it's not the cool escape that she had envisioned. Does he have any ideas? So Flash asks her, you can phase your body, right? Do the robots know that? She jumps towards a wall, telling him that that's not a bad idea. Hey, Robo! The robots all start charging at her, but as they get close, she phases through them and one of the robots clashes with the wall, leaving an opening behind it. Flash climbs down that opening, asking, how is it colder outside than inside the ice prison? But before he can get an answer, he looks up to see the doom sigil glowing, asking, wait, what happened while I was in prison? Glider tells him that Lex Luthor happened. Time and reality are broken, shattered. It's the end of the world. Flash asks why is she helping him, and Glider says because she loves her brother. Sometimes you have to hurt the ones you love when they make a big mistake. Right now, they need to let the world know that the Flash isn't dead. And a short while later, at King Cold's throne room, he tells the story of how he killed the Flash with this very icicle. The Flash knew that it was the greatest battle of his life. And as he died, the Flash told him that King Cold was his greatest enemy, and that he was better than him. All of the men and women cheer, long live King Cold, and then they're silenced as the High Guard runs in, stating that there's been a breach in the lower levels. Cold gets up from his throne, asking which cell, and the High Guard looks at the records, telling him it was cell number 8. King Cold then asks, who was it that broke in? And before the High Guard and advisor could say it, King Cold walks off, shouting that his sister has been in hiding ever since we took over Central City. She reveals herself by stealing? Time to create the ultimate weapon, using Mirror Master's tech mixed with Luthor's. Just then, out of the large mirror, giant ice wolves charge out, and Cold says that his sister used to be afraid of dogs when they were kids. Find her! Meanwhile, across the city, both Kid Flash and Avery stare, asking if it's really him. The Flash runs over, hugging them, telling them that no, he is alive. How did they get out here? Kid Flash scoffs, stating that he should ask the criminal. It was her brother who froze Central City. And Golden Glider leans in, telling him that she was the one who broke Flash out of prison. They think it's a coincidence that they just ran into him here. She's bringing him to them. She did that as a sign of trust, so that way they can. But Flash steps between them, telling Kid Flash and Avery that he owes Glider for helping him. How about they just sit down and talk about what happened? Kid Flash says that the whole thing about them going after the Rogues, well, yeah, that didn't go so well. After the Rogues handed their butts to them, the sky went crazy. The next thing that they knew, the whole city was covered in ice and Colt had an army. Glider floats up, continuing the story, stating that the Rogues used the panic to steal the city. They knew that Lex had a plan. They just didn't know that it was the end of the world. But if they're going to fix it, they're going to need these shards. Mirror Master's tech, mixed with Luthor's, is flawed. The mirror is cracked and its pieces scattered across the city. Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, and Heatwave all have one. Kid Flash then asks, how are they supposed to get the pieces of the mirror back to fix this when none of them have their powers? So Flash asks, wait, what do you mean? And Glider tells him that that's why she brought him here, so they can take the collar off and fight the... But as Glider reaches for the collar, Kid Flash and Avery both shout, no, don't touch the collar! Before any questions could be asked, the giant ice wolves howl as they lunge towards the group. Everyone quickly dodges the bites, but one wolf pins Flash down. Glider quickly pushes the wolf off, stating that if only they knew someone with speed powers. So the Flash stands back up, telling Glider, take the collar off. She slides her wrappings around the collar, and as it begins to come off, Kid Flash screams, no, don't do it! The collar detaches, and a massive explosion goes off, ripping the wolves apart. The Flash tries to get up, but continuously phases through multiple realities, asking, what is happening? Kid Flash locks the collar back around the Flash's neck, telling him, whatever you do, never take off this power inhibitor, understand? The Flash asks, what just happened? And Kid Flash tells him, it's what we were trying to tell you. We can never use the Speed Force again. It's broken. It's too dangerous after the Black Flash. And that concludes part 1 of the Reign of the Rogues. Now, this is an epic storyline. I'm enjoying it so far. In my opinion, Flash kind of got into a little bit of a lackluster moment up until the Black Flash came back, and now we're moving into this. And so far, the broken Speed Force is pretty epic. If you're wondering about the sigil in the sky, that is the Year of the Villain happening right now at DC. And we're going to be telling you more about the actual battle that is going on during that on our Justice League coverage that you can find on every other Thursday. So we're going to be telling things a little out of order, as you're going to find exactly what is happening with the Year of the Villain, but you're also going to find out what's going on with Batman and the Flash and all the various characters that are being affected by the Year of the Villain. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the idea of the Flash fighting against the Rogues with ultimate power. I feel it's been a while since we've had the Rogues, and this is kind of good to have them back. If you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe to the channel to get the next part of the Flash storyline, or watch the Justice League videos, the Deadpool videos, the Spider-Man videos, whatever we put out. You can also give this video a like, and I promise you, you will get Speed Force powers. I don't know when or how or, any timeline, but you'll get them if you like the video. Either way, thank you so much for your support. We really do appreciate it. You can get early access to our videos over at patreon.com/comicstorian. And I'll see you guys next time right here.